Hey guys, just got a 2000 Chevy Tahoe here. It's had a service Stabilitrak service traction control light on. Been watching some videos on YouTube, and it seems like it could be about anything that could cause this. So I'm gonna run through some stuff, try to narrow it down. First thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take it for a ride around the block, try to replicate some of the problems that I've seen. So we will see what we get here. So it seems to turn on fine, and this is kind of how it's been doing me. Start up, I don't have any lights. Usually once I get going, there we go. So service traction control, service Stabilitrak. All right. Some people have said that they can't get their car to go in, their truck to go into gear. Mine seems to go in gear. I'm gonna ride around the block, come back, and start taking a look at some stuff that could be wrong. See if I have any more lights come on while I'm gone. And I didn't quite get out of the driveway, and I got a couple other lights that come on here. You still have those two lights. Should be coming up here 1 second. It's gonna say traction control off, Stabilitrak off. So see if it does it again here, and then the light goes off. So it's an intermittent problem. Let's see what happens when I start driving again. I'm not gonna go too far. I'm just gonna take it around the neighborhood here. Speeds don't get up too fast. Maybe I'll go down to the main road and back just so I can get a little bit of speed up and see if it's kind of related, but I don't think it is, since it did right there in the driveway at low speed. Alright, I've come to the end of my neighborhood, max speed about 40 miles an hour. The lights are still off. I'm out here getting ready to get on the main road. I'm going to get up to about 60, maybe 65. See if the lights come on, come back, see what we get. Alright, I'm pulling back in the driveway. Let's see if this light comes back on, because it seems like at the end of the trip it'll come back on a lot. So just out of luck here, see if I can get it so it's not so blurry for you guys. We can get the light to come on. Put it back in park. And it isn't going to do it again. So it's going to be one of those frustrating problems where sometimes it's on, sometimes it's off. Which, like I said, leads me to believe it could be electrical. It's not raining. I'm going to pop the hood. I'm going to look at the battery cables. Alright, so I got my multimeter out. I'm going to check the voltage on here. The car's been sitting for a little bit since the last section of this video. I kind of have to work on this in little spurts. Let me see if I can measure this thing and video at the same time here. Let's see what we can come up with. I only have the one hand. Alright. Okay, so 12.45. Alright, so the battery had power. I'm just going to go ahead and tighten the terminals here. 10 millimeter. Make sure everything's nice and tight. That was pretty loose. That one's pretty tight. Yeah, that was pretty loose. That might have been a problem. Alright, so let's take it for a trip around the block, see what we got. Okay, so the battery cable did not help. Didn't, you know, it didn't fix it. It sure wasn't helping the situation. This morning on the way to work, I was idling and the traction control came on again. And then as I took off, it went back off. So it seems to be if I'm stopped, the traction control light comes on. Also at lunch, the vehicle didn't want to start. And it gave me a new error, which is actually kind of helpful. It says a cylinder misfire, which can also cause this traction control could mean anything, but if you can see it, okay, so this is number one, first one on the driver's side. Odds on this side, evens on the back. All right, so I got the cable off. It's really tight. It's got this spring-loaded little thing on it. I had to pull pretty hard to get it to come off. But the plug is, can't really see it because everything's in the way of the camera and the light. But it's down there. I'm gonna take it out and replace it. Got the plug out. It does not look good at all. So definitely you can see why it's gonna misfire. Just go ahead and get the new one in there. All right, so I have the new plug in, get ready to crank it up. Do yourself a favor, put a little bit of oil on the threads of the new plug and don't put the panic on it, so that way the next time you'll take it out, it won't be so hard. There we go, the light's off. The check engine light's off. It does seem to be idling a little bit better, and it wasn't bad. I mean, thing's got almost 200,000 miles on it, so I didn't think it was that bad anyway. But anyway, we will see what kind of fix this is. Wish me luck. All right, hopefully the final update here. Replaced the spark plug the other night. Been riding around town the past couple days. Regular driving, some idling, a little bit of interstate driving. The engine seems to be running much smoother, and most importantly, the traction control light's off. Check engine light's off. Everything seems to be good. So, like we found out, the service traction control light could mean practically anything. In my case, it was a spark plug that had been fouled, causing misfire. So just something to add to the list of things that could possibly be causing that traction control Stabilitrak light to come on. Loose power cables, ground cables, misfires in the engine. I've seen on the wheel speed sensors, steering sensors, brake pedal sensors. So it's a whole long list of things that could possibly be done. If you're having this trouble, I would suggest start with the simple, easy, cheap fixes first, and then work your way up to the more complicated, harder fixes. If you have a scan tool, mine was not very much. I bought it at Harbor Freight. It does everything I needed to do, especially when the check engine light came on. It told me exactly what cylinder was misfiring. It wasn't as helpful with the Stabilitrak light, but when the check engine light finally did come on to alert me to a problem, hey, after that it was simple. Anyway, thanks for watching. I hope it helps you out. If I have any more problems, which I'm sure I will, it's a 07 Tahoe, I'll try to document my progress and what I did to fix it. Thanks, and have a good evening. Bye.